What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the One Piece World Seeker review. Oh, we're finally done with the game. Yes, it is that time. I promised you guys at the beginning of the series that I would give a review after we were done with the main story, so here it is. Before I say anything about the review of the game, though, I'd like to thank everyone who watched the episodes, who commented, who subscribed because of the series. I appreciate each and every one of you, so look out for more coming in the future. I want to keep uploading, maybe not necessarily One Piece, but uploading in general, and I hope you stick with me through it all. So let's get into the review. I have 4 main categories that I want to go over for the review, being gameplay, the story, the characters, and music/graphics for you guys. So we'll start with gameplay. Gameplay, I have 3 points worth mentioning as to why I gave it the review score I did. The level up system, the fighting mechanics, and the traveling system in the game. The level up system, it was interesting to say the least with the tree that you got, and it was branched off into the different categories of stuff. You had the travel system, you had the armament system, you had the observation system, and then you had like overall stuff, and then you had the gear force on the bottom and like special move attacks on the top of the wheel. And I thought that was a pretty cool way of Luffy isn't automatically overpowered from the get-go of the game. You have to unlock Gear 4 through the story. Then once you unlock Gear 4, you can make it so it lasts longer, so the fatigue isn't as bad. You unlock Red Hawk through the level up system. You can increase its damage. You unlock armament through the upgrade system and upgrade its damage. You can increase your defense through the upgrade system. I thought that was pretty interesting. I didn't know exactly how they were going to do the Luffy being so overpowered thing compared to normal people, and I thought that was a pretty clever way of doing it. So I gave them bonus points for that. Like that was a good job. The fighting mechanics in this game go sort of hand in hand with the level up system, in that you need the level up system to unlock the fighting. And the moves were amazing. It was so fun to see all the moves, you know, being able to use Red Hawk as Luffy, being able to go Gear 4. Eagle Storm I'd never heard of until this game, but it was still pretty cool to use. Being able to use Conqueror's Haki and knock out a bunch of people, that was really interesting. I wish I would have been able to use it more often. In my opinion, when you weighed the damage that Red Hawk was doing compared to what Conqueror's Haki would do when it just would knock someone out, which is still very useful, don't get me wrong. It's just, I personally would rather throw out 3 Red Hawks, keep running around than get one takedown punch on the boss or whoever I'd be fighting at the time. The super moves were really fun, but the day-to-day, the normal fighting, the throwing the combos and then him going to Gatling, or him doing the 1, 2, 3 big swing with armament because it was slower, was pretty boring. Like, it was very repetitive. That's the right word to use. Fighting system in this game was very repetitive. It spiced it up by you being able to do the special moves. Unless you were using those, it wasn't all that special. And finally, I have in gameplay the traveling system. Being able to fast travel was a major point in this game. I love that so much that you didn't have to run around the island time after time after time again, because shoo-wee, this game had you jumping from one half of the island to the other half. It was like, oh, 1 minute you're down at the Sunny, then oh, you got to go all the way up to Cannon Island to go fight the pirates. Oh, then you got to go back to Steel City to help Jean do something. Then oh, you got to go all the way to the mine again. And it's just crazy that the map was as big as it was, which was a good thing, but it was better that they gave you the fast travel system. That was really good. The rocket was a good way to get around. Like if you were close enough and you didn't want to fast travel because of the loading screens, you could use the rocket, and the rocket was a good way to get around. It was fun as long as you weren't in a city, because whoo-wee, them snipers, for no reason they were ridiculously overpowered. They would do so much damage, and even if they didn't do damage, they were just so annoying that they would just shoot you out. Like you weren't doing anything half of the time. I understand why they have to be there. Like pirate-wise in the One Piece canonical story, I understand why they have to be there protecting the citizens, but it was just irritating in a game sense for them to be there. Like maybe they're there and then once you beat them once, they're gone forever. I would have personally liked that better, but I don't design video games, I just play them. So for me, gameplay-wise, I gave it a 3 out of 5. For some of the things I said, they were pretty interesting, but I felt like some of them could have been better, but they're not below average by any means. So at 3 out of 5, I thought was a fair judgment of the gameplay in this game. Moving on to the story, the big thing about this game, the points that I have for story are the main story, obviously, and then the side quests. And we'll start with the side quests, I guess, just to get them out of the way, because to be honest, not that interesting. Like they were all pretty, oh hey, can you go over here and do this for me? Oh hey, can you go over here and do that for me? And then it was done. That was what the side quests were to me. There was a couple in there that were pretty interesting. Like there was a couple that you would help the Straw Hats with, and you would end up fighting someone big. In a couple of the side quests, I fought against Kizaru again. That was pretty fun. The first time he blew me back, so this time it was a lot smoother. It was bow, 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 get out of here, Kizaru, I'm done with you. More often than not, I found myself just trying to get it done as fast as I could just to get the rewards. I didn't want to enjoy the side quests because there wasn't much to enjoy. me personally. And now into the main story. The main story, this felt like a well-crafted filler episode, a filler arc. That's what this whole game felt like. It felt like a filler arc. Time and time again in the actual Let's Play, I would reference to Alabasta, how I said this place felt like Alabasta, how Vivi and Jean, I saw some similarities with them. You know, they obviously made a little bit of tweaks here and there, like Isaac being her brother versus Crocodile being just a villain for Baroque works in Alabasta, but I felt like they did a lot of the same stuff. And so I mean, it's good, don't get me wrong, like Alabasta was amazing, but it's like I've been there and done that before. Jean is a lovable character. It was kind of annoying every once in a while that she would get so down and then instantly come right back to it after you're like, come on. She's like, oh man, what would my mom do? And you're like, come on, you're Jean, you can do anything. She's like, yeah, I can do anything. You're like, it was kind of annoying. It's like, if you're gonna be that way from the get-go, just, you know, stay positive the entire time. Don't let yourself get into that rut. That's what I thought anyways about it. I still love Jean personally. She was a pretty good character, but the main story, you getting captured, then you helping Jean, it was okay. There was some stuff that they could have done better, I think, personally. With Isaac, I think he was mishandled, but we'll get into that into the next topic. So for the overall story, I gave it a 2 out of 5. Like I said, I think it could have been better. They did some things okay, which is why it's not a 1. 2 out of 5 I thought was a fair judgment. Now on to the characters, believe it or not. So the points underneath characters I have as main characters and side characters. So main characters, not including the Straw Hats, because obviously it's about them. The main characters being Jean and Isaac. Isaac as a character was an underwhelming villain, I thought. He started out pretty cool. He started out interesting, really interesting, with the Shrouds of Mystery he had. And then when the bombshell dropped, boom, that he was your Jean's brother, it was like, whoa, this game is taking it up to another level. As time went on and he just became more and more of like a dirtbag, I just found myself not liking him as much as I did at the beginning of the game. And it just, that took away points for me personally. Jean, on the other hand, was sort of a crybaby in the game. That's what is negative about her character. But other than that, she was great. You know, she was single-handedly the reason that the island was afloat. She was the one trying to keep everything together. The whole charade of, oh man, I gotta do it by myself, and then Luffy being like, just tell me to do it and I'll do it, got kind of old. It was like after a couple times you would think maybe she would get it. She never did, and that was kind of annoying. But I mean, other than that, I thought she was a really good character. The side characters meaning like the cameos that popped up, you know, like Kizaru showing up in the game, or Fujitora being in the game. Those were fun. Like, those don't have any negatives towards them. I don't, well, maybe the only negative I would have is that there's too many people here. Like, there was so much to fit into this game that not a lot of people got their time to shine. So, like, Sabo showed up, had a couple lines of dialogue, and then showed up to fight Akainu at the very end. Like, it was great to see Sabo. It was real cool. It was, you know, super fan servicey to see him in Akainu fight, you know, Fire Fist versus Lava again. But he didn't do anything. Like, he showed up, said a couple lines, and that was it. Akainu the same. He'd show up in a couple cutscenes. He had the big fight with Luffy at the end, and then that was it. Like, he didn't do much. Kizaru, the same. Showed up as not even a main mission boss. He showed up as an island investigation boss. That's what I mean, like little things like that. Like, there was too many characters to fit into this game. So while it was great to see them, it was just like, tone it down a little bit. Like, take a couple of them out and let a couple more of them shine. Like Buggy being in there, he was like 2 lines of dialogue. I saw Buggy. It was like, oh hey, go dig up treasures, and then that was it. That was all I ever saw of Buggy in the game, which was ridiculous. Buggy's a hilarious character, and you could have got so much more out of him if you used him as one of the main focal point side characters. But that's the only negative I could say about side characters, I guess. Overall, I gave characters in general a 3 out of 5 because the side characters were great. They had some flaws. The main characters had more flaws and they were great, but they were still good enough. The last tally I have is music and graphics. So the graphics were pretty alright. I've never played a One Piece game before, so I didn't know what to expect coming into it. And they were alright. They didn't do anything wrong, per se. Like, all the graphics were good. I thought the animations looked crisp and clean, but the music was kind of lackluster. The music was okay in some parts and then disappointing in others. Like, the fight music wasn't really all that interesting. Some of the town music was pretty nice. It was, you know, like nice and flowing. And you could tell it was background music, but it was good background music. I guess the switch to fight music from town music was pretty interesting because you knew it was time to, like, go. It was time to get into action. Could it have been better? Yeah, a little bit. It is what it is, I guess. So for music and graphics, I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. And overall, I gave this game a 2.5 out of 5. Might sound harsh, but that's the way I saw it. This is the best way I can say about this game. If you're a One Piece fan, I would recommend playing this game because that's the only way you can get enjoyment out of it. If you don't know anything about One Piece, or you're a casual One Piece fan and aren't really up to date with some of the stuff, or you're not as hardcore into the anime or manga and you don't know more stuff that's happening, like, this game was fun because of the characters that you saw. Like, because you met Sabo again, it was fun. Because you fought Akainu, it was fun. Just as a game by itself, it needed some work. But if you're a One Piece fan, then this game is fantastic. For you, because like you get to use Luffy, and you get to fight Smoker, and you get to fight Akainu, like you get to fight the big boys and use the big guns. But if you don't know what One Piece is, or you're not, you know, super invested into One Piece, then I'd probably say stay away. If you're all about One Piece, then I'd say give this game a shot. Only if it's on sale. Only if it's on sale. I think we got this game while it was on sale, and I mean, on sale it's fun. It's a really great game on sale, but anything other than, I don't know, maybe like 20 bucks, I'd probably say no go, but that's just me. Those are my opinions. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. If you agree, if you disagree, what you disagree with, what you agree with. Let me know if you guys want me to do the DLC. As much as like I said, I enjoyed this game personally, so if you guys want me to do DLC, I have no problem with doing the DLC. And until then, I'll see you guys in the next video.